when you guys approach the market, you approach it with the understanding, especially when you follow the way we trade, the market is a discounting mechanism. This means that it is moving based on the best information available. Traders are acting upon this information prior to the news comes out. So if you are bearish on the US dollar, or you think that the unemployment is coming to be weak or is going to be bad, and you know that this is coming, you're going to go short the dollar. So you're selling right before the news, because you're a smart man. You know, you did your homework, and for whatever reason you identified that the dollar is going and you're selling it. Once you're done with your selling, you act upon your knowledge, you behave as a prudent investor, and as a prudent investor you'll be buying, and that's our job. We identify this behavior, so they're buying, and once the news comes out, those prudent investors now become prudent, they take profit, so you get a push on the other side. This was the profit taking of the initial decline. Then the market, after it absorbs the news, it realizes now it still wants to continue in that direction or in the opposite direction, then it buys. Therefore, you have to be either taking profit or getting out of the trade before the news comes out, or you have to approach it with the understanding, and this is how we do the news trade, because one of our trades is the news trade, is how to identify the direction of the market or the behavior to know that which way or which side of the market is going to be the winning side. Alright, so let's start first with, now they're taking the euro dollar, because that's we'll be doing the euro first and the euro pairs, and then we're going to be doing the Swiss pairs, and then we're going to do the Aussie and the... So the euro dollar, our number, if you remember, our buy point, the structure long is the 143. It was the buying point. So we bought it from last week at the 143. That, again, when you have a structure point, which is a long point, and it is your stop, it's a very powerful buy. So you bought it from last week, and it's now trading at 146.30. So we had about 300 pips on that trade by itself, and now we want to look at where we are today, and we want to see, I need to get a cleaner. Okay, this is my weekly chart on the euro. The next structure point that we have is the 147.18. We closed the week at 146.29, 146.42. It's pretty choked up. I mean, it's pretty much near the high, and therefore I need to be careful before I take a buy, even though I want to buy it, even though I want to take it long, even though I want to do this. I will only buy it when it continues on the upward direction. Okay, so I will not buy it anywhere over here. I want to buy it when it clears out, when it clears all this, when it goes beyond this, because I want confirmation that this is going to continue up. I don't want anybody to be choked up in that trade. Okay, so my buy signal is going to be above the 146.45 of 146.42. That is going to be my buy signal. Now let me see what the 146.25 is. I want to see that on the other chart, at least, because I want, so want to see if how important that structure point is before I make any significance to it. Actually, this is that's brilliant. This is a very powerful structure point, which is the 146.25. So now I have a very strong point, which is the 146.25. So, and that is a structure point. This is a very big structure point. That's why Mike had it for me in a magenta color. Okay, so this means I want to be short. If it gets below 146.25, I want to be short. Now let me show you the beauty, and I say that from the bottom of price behavior. That structural point that was way back in 2007, that was the behavior where everybody bought and sold. Take a look. If I put a line on the intraday chart, it's at 146.20. Look at this structure point. It's the 146.20. Only a 5 pip difference. I mean, 5 pips is nothing in a foreign exchange. Now this is now my structure point from all the way back. It is, as I said, a very strong point, 146.25. If you want to put it here, I mean, that's it. It's nothing. So this is where it identified, let's say around 146. I'm going to leave it 146.25 so that you know what I'm talking about. It is such a powerful point. So what we are going to do now, we have an easy trade in the euro dollar, and we are going to be buyers of the euro dollar. This was last week's number, so we're going to buy it above 146.45, which is the high. I'll make it 42 so you don't get confused. And my selling point is going to be the structure point, the 146. Now we have it from the bigger time frame as 146.25, but if you look at the intraday chart, it's about 146.15 or so. So we are, this is the most current, this is the most present. So we're going to take the short technically from here, but I'm going to put the short point as the 146.25. But you guys want to wait for those additional 10 pips. Am I clear on that? Because we want to be consistent in our explanation, we were going to go short at 146 technically. For the sake of the radar screen, we're going to be selling at 146.25. But in practical terms, we're going to wait an additional 10 pips and sell it below 146.15. Okay, just for the sake of, and of course it is my structure short. Okay, and of course in this case it will also be my stop. On the long side, I'm buying it above the 146.42. And where will I place my stop? I will place it below the structure point. I don't want it to come below the structure point. So my short stop and my long stop is pretty much the same. And my structure long to the upside is the 147.18. Alright, so to wrap this thing up, we are going to buy the euro above 146.42, and if we do, my structure long the next one is going to be the 147.18, so that could be a target where we can see if we can get some profit at it, or we can decide how it's behaving. We also are going to place our stop below the short point or the short structure point. Okay, because this now is my short entry, so I don't want to be upside down, up short and long at the same time. So I'm using my stop, my short entry point, as my stop. And on the short side, my short point is the 146.25, which is the old structure point. I'm using it as my short point and as my structural short, and I'm using it as my stop. Okay, so that is the euro dollar.